Have my camera angles been fine?
Oh, hell yes.
Okay. I just want to, if we need to adjust it.
Oh, no.
Should I do like full wide? I don't know. I guess I think this is what I've been doing. Just a regular zoom.
Oh, yeah. It's all good as is.
All right.
As long as it's good quality, I can always zoom in if I have to.
This is true. Well,
I speak only truths.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does matter.
There wasn't for them.
All right. Recording.
There were 6 of them.
There was a couple that I could.
I banged it on, guys. What?
Okay, kids, let's go.
What?
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Hello, what have we here?
These guys are so funny.
Hello.
Holy shit. Thanks C3 penis face and R2 dickhead.
Hello there.
Looking? Found someone you have, I would say.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Mopar.
I'm Commander Cody.
Today, we're going to teach you how to be 1,000% grade A douchebag in 3 easy steps.
What's
For
step
only
one?
a monthly subscription of 40 dateries.
We got to give step 1, and then they have to sign up for the monthly. Give them 1 step for free, and then you got to loop them in.
The first step is holding it up pent-up rage for your mother because she kicked you out of her basement. Step 2 and 3 are how you apply that rage and how you hate the fandom that you've always loved.
How to slaughter younglings.
How
A
to
9-step process.
how to have 9-year-olds.
Where do you get them? All right, that's enough.
I also am launching a book,
Yeah.
To Cut in Half or Not to Cut in Half.
Mopar is the new Tony Robbins.
Yeah, well, good day, Galaxy.
Unleash the Sith Lord within.
Sometimes you have to.
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while, you just gotta go, hey, and they put everything in its place.
When the galaxy's on the verge of collapse, every once in a while you have to kill children.
You just gotta pull the Papa Mopar and just scream, hey. Everybody, everything stops in time, and your fear level goes to 1,000, and then you stop doing what you're doing.
Fear plus 5,000.
Fuck it. Yeah, today we're going to be discussing heavy Mando stuff in preparation for season 2 launching. I mean, by the time you're listening to this, it probably has launched. But still, regardless, obviously we're not going to be able to binge all of the episodes all at once. So they'll
Correct.
probably sprinkle it down, and there's a whole TV watching guide that you have to follow.
If you're listening to this, very likely Mando launches tomorrow.
Cool.
And if you're watching this,
Or later
Mando
tonight.
launches in 2 days. Yeah. Or it launched last week. Or what if it's 2023 and you're listening through the back catalog? Mando's been done already. You already know all the secrets.
New Rogue Squad Pod, absolute shit. I'm listening to the Mando episode again for the 4th time this week. Yeah, so I did some research. I have a lot of tabs open on my web browser.
Okay.
Which means we are going to get deep here.
Lots of web zones open.
Lots of web zones.
Did you submit your research for peer review?
No, everything's misspelled. I haven't done officials, so we'll see what happens here. Sorry, I'm pausing here. I'll bring up the chat while
I haven't done officials. Nah, Brennan's up in the chat. Brennan's here, tuning in right at the top of the hour.
as always.
He asked how much you want to bet Boba is revealed at the end of episode 1 like the baby child was in season 1, episode 1.
That would be good timing. There is something to say that you can launch something right up front, like the Baby Yoda reveal, and then kind of walk through, descriptions, story building around that reveal.
Yeah.
And more details. I like that. Instead of dragging us through a bunch of shit and then giving us the reveal. I like the real reveal up front. So no, it would be nice if they kind of hit the ground running like they did season 1.
Yeah. Well, I think you got multiple reveals. You know, one
Yeah.
of them is Baby Yoda, and that can unfold over the course of the season. But there's other reveals that they're gonna hold on to. Speaking of Boba, I mean, are we thinking like one episode cameo, or are we thinking that he's gonna be like an ongoing character throughout the season?
So, I
this where
just
the
want to
research
give
comes in?
people. I just want to give people up front potential spoilers. We really don't know what we're talking about. I'm just basing this off of information that's already online. But I am looking at the IMDb for Mandalorian. First off, they're claiming 17 episodes total. So the first season was 8 episodes. So we're suggesting that the second season's 9.
Sounds like IMDb is suggesting that.
That's what I unconfirmed, but that's what I'm looking at. It says
Who's behind this conspiracy? I must know.
Yeah, it says Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian for 17 episodes. So that leads me to believe that we're going to get 9 episodes this season, which is cool. We get 1 extra episode.
Make it 19 while we're at it. Let's go.
So I'm going to dive right in. I just want to give you guys a little hint. So we're going to be doing a lot of Mando coverage, characters, our favorite characters, talking deeply into kind of Baby Yoda, the current cast list, and then I do want to kind of at the end we can discuss Cassian Andor series, where they're at with that, and the kind of small little storylines that I've come across.
They just started, didn't they?
Supposedly into Cassian Andor stuff started like March, April, but obviously that stuff was put on hold. So, but yeah, we'll jump into that. But like I said, we'll get back to here. I'm on the full cast and crew on IMDb for the Mando. One thing that I did notice: series writing credits. Jon Favreau, 17 episodes. George Lucas, 17 episodes.
Well, they're really going hard on that 17 episodes.
Well, yeah, that's kind of, if I saw it just on Pedro Pascal's thing, I would have been like, oh, you don't know what that means. But yeah, 17 episodes. So I thought that was cool. George Lucas has been full balls deep in writing, in helping write at least.
Oh, no, I don't. I think he just has a default writing credit on all of it.
Is that what they're doing?
I think so. Because he created the universe, so like I think he gets a de facto like writing credit on everything.
Yeah, I mean, did they do that stuff? I mean, I guess they did with Stan Lee and basically all the Marvel stuff.
But based on characters created by Stan Lee or whatever.
I gotcha.
That kind of shit.
I guess the thing I don't get is why would you put it specifically for 17 episodes from 2019 to 2020? Like,
yeah,
that makes me feel like he is more involved than just creating the universe 30 years ago.
I mean, I would like to think so. I would like to say that and speculate wildly, but I think just because he's the OG, I think he just gets a default credit. Let me look up George Lucas's profile.
All right, so here might be
a
small spoiler because you asked about the Boba Fett reveal.
I did ask.
So on IMDb, I'm gonna keep saying that just as a reference. Tamir Morrison as Boba Fett, 1 episode.
Okay.
So he is only, as they're suggesting, might be a part of only 1 episode. Hopefully it's the last episode and he's murdering somebody.
Okay.
No?
That might be to hide the actual plan. Like, it doesn't matter for them to give away that it's 9 episodes, season 2. But Boba Fett, they might just be saying, like, Boba and Ahsoka Tano, like, they're credited for 1 episode until that actual episode comes out.
Yeah.
Because they probably don't want you to think, like, that he's in the whole season or whatever up front. So, the fact that they even have the credit fucking on IMDb is crazy.
Well, the weird thing is, I'm kind of running through this quickly, but I don't see Ahsoka on here at all.
Interesting.
There is no credit for what's-her-face.
I thought we looked that up when we did see it.
Clerks 2.
Clerks 2 and Star Wars. Side note, Lucas, I'm looking at his profile on IMDb, and he is on every Star Wars thing ever created. It says, based on characters created by.
Yeah, I mean, I
So-
don't blame it, but
Yeah.
the details kind of led me to believe something else, obviously. So
Yeah, no, but he's credited here for like Rebels and Resistance and Clone Wars and all the other Star Wars movies and Mando and everything.
the Mandalorian. Oh, okay. Well, this might lead you to believe something else here. So Sasha Banks, who we are assuming is Sabine,
Okay.
who we're going to be coming across at some point in this,
Okay.
is credited for 8 episodes. So we're dipping our toes into some potential. I mean, not huge spoilers, but
Yeah.
Well,
Well, now I don't know what to believe after that.
Yeah, this is suggesting that Sabine might be a part of most of this season, which would be cool. Jumping from cartoon to live action, they haven't really done that outside of Grievous. We saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, who else? We're gonna see that with Ahsoka, and now potentially Sabine.
Mm-hmm. Some of the other Mandalorians from Clone Wars and Rebels as well.
Mm-hmm.
Bo-Katan and all those other mofos. Can't remember all the names. There's too many of them.
Too many.
But yeah,
There's
I
too
imagine
many
that
of them.
there.
What are we going to do?
Mrs. Skywalker,
Well,
you're looking pretty dank right now. What are we going to do?
you got a lot of blood, and it needs.
And I need it. The Emperor needs it. Emperor needs it. I need to be cleansed.
I need to be cleansed of this wickedness.
Gotta save my wife. /
I need to cut at least 2 of you to fulfill the needs. I'll double down, double my efforts.
Yeah. What's going on in his head? Did Sheev give him a quota of Jedi younglings to kill before he opens up the book with all the real Sith knowledge?
Well, if you're going based off of the command that he gives for the Separatists, wipe them out, was the quote, I believe. So
All of them.
just if I hear about any of them, so, we're going to be having a discussion later.
I'm taking your lessons back.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse.
Yeah. So, well, I made a lot of sounds there, but I'm going through here. So I got Grief and Cara Dune and Moff Gideon, and they're making suggestions for how many episodes they're involved in, which is hard to like on the surface think about because I don't think Gina Carano's character Cara Dune wasn't in all the first season episodes. So how many of those was she involved in?
Right.
And what does 11 episodes of credit mean now? Is she only in 3 or 4 episodes this time? I don't know. So
Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah, it just I came across this, and the Boba Fett thing was why I really kept this open. I was like, only one, and it could be the smallest little thing where he's walking around in the goddamn background, and someone just says Boba Fett, and then that's it.
I mean, if I had to guess, he would be a cameo, and so will Ahsoka, and they will not be like a pillar of the story in season 2. I was assuming that he was going to show up for 1 episode.
So they do have Bo-Katan on here, played by Katie Sackhoff. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the voice actor that did her in the cartoons.
Okay.
In the animateds, yeah, that's one of the slew of people that they revealed for.
They
season
could
2.
always do a goddamn hologram transmission coming in. It could be just the voice of someone.
Yeah.
Who fucking knows? Who
Not
fucking
me.
knows?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't produce it. I bet what's going to happen is that if Boba Fett's back and he's going to be a bad guy.
Hey, everybody's back.
Everybody's back. And we're not assuming that, Filoni's going to write Boba Fett as if he, regrets his life and now he's a good guy. If he's a bad guy, I bet he will be an antagonist to try to tell the Mando, oh, don't go bother with the Jedi. They killed my dad. You don't want to give this thing up to them. They're all evil. And then you have all the other Mandalorians who know and trust Ahsoka, and they're going to be on his side trying to say, yeah, you need to deliver this little green creature over to this cult of monks who murder people.
So they do say deliver him to his people. Now,
His
you're
clan.
assuming it's Jedi because I know that they specified a little bit that about the history of the Jedi.
Yeah, ancient sorcerer warriors.
Yeah, but I always kind of left a little link to perhaps there are more Yodas. Maybe there is the full species.
Oh,
and
like his
that
actual
is this,
species, yeah.
That is this kind that they're trying to connect with. I don't know.
Possibly.
So, and then Brennan also mentions that if Sasha Banks is in fact Sabine, because we saw her kind of a glimpse in a robe, and I assume that was her in the commercial.
Yeah.
She looked quite a bit more Jedi-like, but you never know. If you're just trying to hide from people, you just throw on a fucking robe. And
I was gonna say technically anyone that has a giant robe on looks like a Jedi, from a certain point of view.
Yeah. So, and of course, everybody's assuming because she rocks like purple and blue hair. So when you see Sabine,
When you be seeing that Sabine,
when you Sabine it, yeah. I did a little more digging on Sabine because I haven't gotten all the way through Rebels. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I'm terrible. But they did kind of
graffiti artist, man.
I think it was Star Wars Explained. Was kind of discussing about her artistic background and how she might be she might become the official canon creator of the Rebellion logo. Because she does these little
Interesting
logos, and it's like supposed to be like a type of bird with its with wings out.
Yeah, it's like a phoenix, I think. Right?
Yeah, it's like a phoenix. And they're saying that the Rebellion might adopt that and then just tweak it and make it their logo.
The Rebellion or the New Republic?
Or the New Rebellion.
The New Rebellion click. New Republic
I don't know.
I'm gonna see because I think I was trying to look at the New Republic logo. I thought it had something like slightly different.
Let's look it up.
Oh, it's got like well, there is a phoenix involved somewhere. New Republic Remnant looks like a phoenix logo. I don't know. Someone that knows new canon needs to tell us what's going on here.
The New Republic. Oh, I see it. I see the one with the feathers.
Yeah, this one looks like phoenixy, but I think this is the main New Republic logo, and it's just got like some sunrise bullshit. It's actually
kind of looks like Kylo's
very
lightsaber.
Good. It kind of looks like somebody went into MS Paint and added these little sun daggers to it. I don't know how that's official at all.
Click yellow paint can. Click fill. Okay, we got it.
That's basically all they did. Yeah, that's fun.
You know, it's interesting. It's how they connect every fucking thing in the Star Wars universe.
What, with icons?
No, it's just, you know, they make a logo 30 years ago, and then, you know, it becomes something else, and now it was created by this person who we've been talking.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
you know, it just keeps rolling on and on, which is, you know, that's the pull of Star Wars.
I mean, Sabine is an artist, so it makes sense that she's putting illegal graffiti on all the Empire's things.
You know, I
lock her up.
100% agree, but at the same time, it's like, does every goddamn thing have to connect to the 100 characters that we've seen in the Star Wars universe? Like, there can be a random ass person that just makes stuff, or is a big fan of Sabine's art and had made it based off of her. So I don't know. Uh-oh.
Someone's just copycatting her. Yeah, it's possible. I can see it. I can picture that.
Screenshotted her thing, threw it on something else.
Exactly. Like people stealing our memes all the time. God damn. I'm not supposed to do that. She didn't watermark the New Republic logo, is what you're saying. And then Leia just stole it.
Like,
slapping that shit on everything.
I'm slapping. How many stickers can we order? That's my only question.
Yes, I need a New Republic coaster.
Please. Mugs, please.
Han is spilling his beer all over the kitchen table.
Yup.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Are you I know you're excited, but are you overly overjoyed by the trailer and the first look video that we've seen?
No.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I feel like the ones for all the movies are like, and obviously a movie is different than the series right off the bat, but I feel like for all the Star Wars films, they were trying to like whack you over the head with fan service, awesome shit. They're like, look at this, come see this movie. And for the Mando, I feel like it's a little more subdued, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
You know,
it's like everyone's bought in, everyone liked Mando, and they're all seeing season 2. So let's just set the stage and do a little tease.
Yeah, and maybe it's not so big because they didn't want to give anything away. I don't know. Star Wars has always done that so well, where they give us a lot, but we still have no fucking clue what's going on.
Yeah.
But if they are doing a couple big drops, throughout the season, especially if they do it right off the bat, obviously you're going to be extremely limited on what you can show on screen. Just throw it out there. Let's say they do drop Ahsoka in the goddamn first episode. I'm sure if she groups up with the Mandalorian, she's going to be there for 5-6 episodes. So you're very limited on what you can actually show. No, I'm okay with it. Again, it didn't do it. It
didn't exasperate you.
Yeah, it was like, I know where we left off. You don't have to, just.
They basically everything they gave away was just in announcing the cast listings. Like, the only information we have about season 2 is like, oh, he's going to find Jedi, and then here's these 37,000 people that were cast for season 2. So it makes sense with all that shit that came out that they're trying to, keep things under wraps for the trailer.
Yeah. The nice thing that they did do in the trailers or the teasers was showing off the landscapes and the different worlds that were going to be, we saw they're at least suggesting Tatooine, a snow planet that a lot of people are suggesting that's Ilium.
Ilum.
I have heard another suggestion about that snow planet, that it could potentially be Sabine's home planet.
Interesting.
Which is also a snow planet. So they were suggesting that in his search, he was looking for more Mandalorians and finding the Jedi. So he said if he finds the Mandalorians, the Jedi might not be too far away, which, that suggests Sabine and Ahsoka are very close. Yeah, especially at the end
shacking up together.
Supposedly at the end of Rebels, both of them are with each other. So
yeah,
it could be two birds stoned at once.
Two birds getting stoned. It is too obvious that it's Ilum, but I love it. It needs to be Ilum.
Yeah,
the home of the Jedi crystals, which eventually becomes Starkiller Base.
They really dance over that in episode 7. Like, another death ball, great. Even if I'm a huge Star Wars fan, it's like,
right.
Even if I absolutely love episode 7, you're like, again,
right.
Again with the sphere, like, what the fuck? But then if you gave us any inkling that it was the Jedi goddamn crystal planet that was sacred to them, so it's a big fucking middle finger to the Force users.
Missed opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. They're using your goddamn ancient crystals for just murder. They're blowing everybody up. But instead, we get a nice Nazi
speech.
Nazi speech from,
rally cry. Yeah.
God, I do have to watch that again. I can't get past Kylo's curls. Kylo's curls. But
I met somebody recently that we were just talking about Star Wars, and he just casually asked me, like, what's my favorite? And we haven't done our rankings in a while, and I've only watched a few Star Wars in the past few months, so I really had to think about it for the first time in a while about what my favorite movie is right now.
What did you suggest at that time?
I said I can't decide between 1 and 5 and 7. So I'm going to say all 3 of those. I know that's 20% of the entire franchise I'm going to say is my favorite, but that's what I have to do right now. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I put on episode 7 kind of just as a refresher. I know people felt like I've been shitting on the sequels. They do feel a little distant. Well, what happens is we go. That's all we've known for the past 5 years. Well, since basically the beginning of this podcast, we're ramping up for the re-release or the relaunch of Star Wars. Mm-hmm. That's what we've lived through. So I've seen 7, 8, 9, and Rogue One and Solo so many times.
Yeah.
And obviously I've been going back and looking at the prequels and appreciating them more, unfortunately and fortunately. But I hate
appreciating these good movies. Damn it!
Ah, darn. I don't know. Yeah, I needed to put on episode 7 and kind of refresh my mind of. It is pretty high on my list.
Yeah,
I think
it's real good.
Honestly, if I had to name them off into sequel trilogies, it would probably be 7, 8, and 9 in my favorite.
Really interesting. I thought you had Last Jedi last. LOL.
I
mean, it changes.
I don't. Yeah, I mean,
They're both good.
yeah. Again, 8 and 9. There are so many great climaxes in those, but there are some like, really, what?
I think you just described Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think I've come to terms with, you go through seasons, and I think I'm in a prequel season right now, so I'm just gonna keep fucking with that.
Yeah. By the way, after getting through episode 1 audiobook, and if you guys are interested in hearing about my thoughts about that, listen to the last 2 episodes. But Audible did give me an email saying, hey, if you're unhappy with this book, you can return it and get something else.
Well, let me tell you something, Audible. Did you write like a 30-page review?
Well, that's what I was wondering. Like, I've never seen that before. And of course, you suggested that you could do that, return a book within a week. And
within a year.
Within a year?
Yeah, you swap it out of your library and you get a credit back.
See, they made this sound like it was like damage control. Like, hey, we saw you uninstalled that pretty fucking quickly.
We watched your podcast. You talk shit about this audiobook. Can I give you a credit, sir, please?
But that's what it felt like. So I traded that in, and I skipped episode 2. I feel bad, but I'm not.
I feel like if there's one episode where the book has potential to be better than the movie, it's that one.
I went with episode 3.
Interesting. All right, well, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get episode 2 on Audible.
Yeah, do it.
I'm going to.
Do it. No, I think eventually I'll get there. Episode 1 felt like a trudge through story because I already know the story and it just didn't add enough. And then I looked at the reviews of episode 3 and they're like, if you're a serious Star Wars fan, you need this in your life today. Because it's just like they basically said they add everything you need in the book or in the audiobook. So I'm excited to get to episode 3.
Okay.
Like I said, we're going to be touching only on Mando today. So
yeah, we're only talking about prequels here and now forever, forthwith.
Did you notice? So I rewatched the first episode of Mando. Did you notice? That was a pretty rough one.
that was hurtful.
Did you notice at the very beginning they show a couple of the same aliens, Salacious Crumb, all caged up. They're panning through.
Oh yeah, yep.
I forget what planet. Navarro.
Navarro.
But they do show like they're Salacious Crumb species. A couple of them caged up, which like is symbolic, man.
One of them's getting toasted.
Yeah, it's very symbolic. They're beyond the Hutt control. They're beyond episode 6. Like they no longer have the power.
They're also very hungry.
They're also they're running wild now that the Jabbas aren't eating them up. So
this guy used to be second in command to Jabba, but now he's dinner.
Now, leftovers. Yeah, I thought that was nice. That's just small stuff. You go back through and you're not paying attention to the storyline anymore. You can kind of really pick up on a lot of the cues they leave.
All the Easter eggs. Do you ever watch Easter egg videos? Like from Star Wars Explained or whatever, Mr. Sunday? They're like 30,000 things you missed in the background scene of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I need to do that more often. Yeah, I every once in a while I do, but I haven't for the Mando.
Oh, well, now's the time.
Who are your favorite characters? Maybe top 3 in
the Mando?
Yeah, in the first season.
Well, the Mandalorian is probably my favorite character from The Mandalorian.
Really?
No, I was trying to be snarky. I also forget. I'm blanking on his actual name completely.
Well, you know what's funny is I was too. So I'll give you my Din Djarin.
Din Djarin. Okay.
I'll give you my top 3. I was like blanking on the names, and then I looked him up. I'm like, oh, that's because he doesn't have a fucking name.
Right.
So Kuiil was one of my tops. I loved kind of the old mentor, but to be honest, the fact that he died makes it even better. Like it kind of solidifies his role. Like he was there to help. He taught Din Djarin to be better than a pesty bitch. I don't know what that means.
Pesty. Pesto are you going for?
But Kuiil, yeah, I just liked the idea of Kuiil. And of course he has the catchphrase, I've spoken. Nice little thing. And he's right up front. It's at first episode. It's cool. I also I like the God. He's what is it? I guess it's animatronic.
IG-11.
No, I'm talking about Kuil. Like they put a
Oh.
person in a suit. I guess
Good question. I don't know.
something along those lines. He was real though. He wasn't. It was a costume of
CGI.
some sort.
Yeah, it was like probably like the Nemoidians. It's like a dude in a
Yeah,
in an outfit.
yeah, exactly. You know, I was thinking. You know.
You know.
Oh yeah, you know.
You know. You from Chicago?
Could be. I could be.
It could be. Where's my birth certificate? I don't
Where
know.
am I from? In my mind, I was thinking Kuil. Yeah, the little short guy.
Yeah.
And then you see him, and he's actually taller than Din Djarin. Isn't that fucked?
What?
Yeah.
You're how high are you? How many edibles did you take?
Slight buzz, but why? What's going on? No, I swear, because when they're sitting in his little hut thing, when he's like, you gotta ride the dirt tick on the way into the compound,
And then on the
he's
way back,
standing there.
too.
I'm like, dude, Kuil's a lot taller than I remember. I thought he was like a little short guy.
Wait a second. He is a short guy. Ugnaughts are short.
Yeah, I guess.
Like here, they're all three together. You can see he's got like 1.5 feet or 2 feet.
Yeah, I guess maybe he was just taller than I remembered. I pictured like an actual
Like
really
Ewok?
short dude, and he's not that short.
Like I guess it does kind of look like they're next to each other, but he's probably like behind him, or he's
Yeah.
standing on something. He's standing on the bodies of his enemies.
He's sitting down there. Yeah,
He's laying on the ground there, actually.
Oh, well, he's shorter than IG-11. We see that. Jesus.
Here you go.
Oh, there you go. There's a good picture. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I see what you mean. He's up to like his shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I did say he was taller. I just meant like he was taller than I thought.
Okay. I'll take it.
And you can see actually in that picture where you have the Mando's like a few inches above, like standing above him.
Yeah.
So you take him down. Yeah, he's probably mouth level. Yeah, he's taller than I thought. That's all I'm saying.
He's about as tall as my wife, I guess. We'll say that.
Way taller.
Oh shit.
Way taller.
Well, now I want this pop as well. Also, I like his buck teeth here. He's like, "Wah." All right.
Yeah, I
anyways.
thought that like just the character, the actual design of Kuil is cool. It's Kuil.
I do like Kuil. He might be one that I'll say. I know I'm definitely gonna say as far as faves, the armor.
Yes, that was number 2. That was the one that I was like, what was her name? Oh, I see, the armor.
Jetpack Mando. None of them have names yet.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. It's kind of very classic feeling. Like, don't worry about them. He is the armor, or she is the armor. No, the armor is a great character because it's like that narrator, but as a character.
Right.
It's really cool. It's a really nice, and it fits very well in a series like this.
Yeah.
So he whenever it's almost like that scene where, well, the idea of like every time he goes to see the armorer, some knowledge is going to be dropped, and
Yep.
he's gonna level up as a character. He's gonna get more armor. He's gonna learn something. This
It's
is
like
the way.
getting back to town after a side quest
Yeah.
in an RPG. You gotta swap your gear, get some new shit, and then you learn about the rumors around town. Get some new side quests.
Yep. There's been a bear attacking this town. You better go kill it. Okay. I got you.
Jarl Ulfric wants to deal with these bandits.
Yeah. No, so top 3, Kuil, the
How
armor.
did you turn a Jarl into Arnold?
Yeah.
Arnold Ulfric.
Bandits. So I have
not safe. All right, that's gotta end.
that's gotta end. Kuil, the armor, and my final one was the client.
Ooh, interesting.
I loved the client, which is weird.
Great
Obviously-
performance.
Yeah, he was so believable and so ex-imperial. Like, wouldn't you agree? Like all the like even how he talked, it was so unique.
Yeah.
And we still don't even know who he was, what he was actually trying to do, but he played such a cool
Right.
role, pivotal role. It was I liked it, guys. I liked it.
I was a big fan. I wouldn't say favorite. I mean, he's only in there for like 20 minutes. Total.
I just think every time he showed up, I was listening and paying hardcore attention because there was always high tension.
Yeah.
When we first see him in the first episode with the Beskar steel, he says stuff like, the Beskar should be put in the hands of back in the hands of the Mandalorians. But obviously he's saying that just to incentivize it. He doesn't really give a flying fuck. He just wants the blood of this baby Yoda.
Yeah. He's like, look how generous I am.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's pushing the buttons. He's playing his cards. And then I do like the fact that he puts a bounty out there for the baby. But he also says, if you bring him in cold, we all will accept that for a lower fee. And that's when the scientist speaks up. He's like, we didn't agree upon that. He's like, I'm a realist. Bounty hunting is a fucking crazy profession. Don't you agree? I was like, yes, I do.
I think you should be cast in season 3. That was a good impression.
Did you agree?
I'm calling Jon Favreau and telling him, hey, you got to meet this guy.
Hey, Favs, check him out.
Hey, Favs, you got to meet this guy from Ohio. Be perfect for your show.
He's from Chicago, Ohio. You don't know. No.
Yeah.
No, so who's your third?
I think I'm going to say the Mando. Kuiil, Mando, and... Well, I guess I technically said the Mando first. I was joking, but now thinking about it, I'm going to commit. Mando, Kuiil, and the armor. So, Baby Yoda's awesome, and he's adorable. But I don't know if I would say he has that character... What's the word I'm trying to say? He hasn't been built enough. He's almost like a little... He's almost like a dog that's like tagging along with the Mandalorian at the moment. I know he's done some cool shit, like Baby Yoda.
Oh, god damn.
What?
I was like
he can't talk. Like we don't know anything about him. So like as far as interest goes as a character, I can't really say him yet. I mean, he's cute and he's done some cool shit, but he's almost like he's just tagging along, like he's like an NPC. He's
an object at this point.
Yeah.
He is the quest. Protect this object.
Right.
I think that's a good point. I don't know why I like the Mandalorian, but I think there are more interesting people out there as of right now. Of course, we've seen small little snippets of him and his background, and we know that he's not pure Mandalorian or was born on Mandalore. So it could get very interesting very quick because there were some suggestions that his parents were of some importance. So we'll see.
Interesting.
We'll see.
Yeah, I guess we don't know too much about them yet.
Yeah, it's again like, do we seriously have to talk about people's parents? Like, he's a Mandalorian.
We saw 14 flashbacks of them getting shredded by the battle droids. That's plenty. So they'll probably be in some comic or something at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brendan was asking just about Moff Gideon.
Mm-hmm.
Who, again, I don't know if he's intriguing to me, but I don't know if we have enough there to really say.
I like him as a character a lot. Obviously, he's higher up in the ranks and might be involved with some more actually evil people. I feel like the client is pulling strings and doing what he can because there's a power struggle. But I do feel like Moff Gideon might be involved in more serious things. Perhaps, pulling the strings to help the return of Palpatine. And that's obviously a huge suggestion in trying to bring Palpatine back. Maybe they need this baby's blood because there's not too many Force users out there anymore.
Interesting. I never even thought of that.
Yeah. This is going to be connecting a lot of stuff.
Hold up. Let's talk about that a little bit more. Did you stumble across that, or did you just pull it out of your dangus?
No, right out the poop chute. No, I made that connection maybe last week. I was like, obviously they want the baby just simply because he's a Force user, but I did see another suggestion. I think it was on the Nerdist.
Boo.
Yeah, I don't know, but they were suggesting that he was very high in midichlorians. Well, actually, they were suggesting that one of the highest ever, and I was like, I don't know where you came across that information. I didn't hear anything about midichlorians in the show.
Yeah.
So I don't know how legit it is. But, with that being said, there are some fucking midichlorians of some sort. So with all the Force users being dead and or at this point myths, the only person that was around is probably 10 years ago, and that was Luke Skywalker, and he's been missing.
Right.
Ahsoka's in hiding. All the rest of them that are Cal.
Well, we don't know if Luke is missing yet.
True. No, true. But even if he's not missing, he's probably not saying, "Hey, look at me! I'm starting."
Hey, everybody! Sign-ups. We're taking sign-ups now. Applications. Put them in for the Jedi Order. We're coming back, stronger than ever, guys.
Stronger than ever. Yeah. So, I assume, like, let's just break this down. The Empire's gone.
Yeah.
It's just the remnants of the Empire. They're trying to pick up the pieces. Even if there was a plan from Palpy, a contingency plan about him coming back as some sort of.
There definitely was.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If assuming there was, and there is, there's still got to be a lot of strings pulled to make that happen, especially if it's not 100% set up at the time of Palpy's death.
Right.
Like maybe they were still, had to plug in the pieces of how they were doing that. And with the Clone Wars, obviously we can clone a bunch of bounty hunters, but
Right.
Obviously cloning Force sensitive is a whole nother issue.
Yeah.
So maybe Baby Yoda could be the puzzle piece that they need to help bring back Palpy.
Yeah.
For the sequels trilogy.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I would imagine that a lot of that stuff kicks into place as soon as he dies. So there's probably like 3 people that know the actual true plan that he trusted.
Right.
So then they have to, follow orders and then, train the people around them. Like, hey, we're doing this. Imperial Remnant. We're going to go hide away and try to get shit set up for Palpatine's return in 35 years.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like Moff Gideon is closer to the top of that food chain as far as bringing Palpy back, all the way down to the client where he's just playing a role. Even though we're with the Mandalorian and he does complete the task, who knows how many clients there are out there trying to get people to get to this Baby Yoda. All the information's out there. Hey, we have this part code and we have 30 years ago he was seen here, but we have no idea, Also, how did Baby Yoda show up on that sand planet with where Kuil is? Like, who had him? They don't really.
It was that gang that the Mando completely obliterates when he has to go into that building.
Right, but why? What are they? I'm assuming they didn't know who they had or what they had.
Yeah,
so,
I don't even think they knew that there was something in. Well, I guess they knew there was something inside that chest or that floating crib thing, but they probably didn't know it was a living being. They probably thought it was like some treasure.
Treasure. Yeah, I don't know. That is definitely an obvious question. Who was in charge and who knew? Did anybody know? I don't know. So, yes, wouldn't you agree?
Wouldn't you agree?
So let's dig into why The Mandalorian as a series is so successful. I was looking on, it looks like it's Yahoo, and they were suggesting The Mandalorian is Star Wars that haters can love. So yeah, I didn't want to read it, but it did. I was like, okay, what are you saying? Long story. Baby Yoda's the key, and they were suggesting that Baby Yoda bridges the gap of hardcore fans. They need to know who, why, when Baby Yoda, all the way through people who are just being introduced to this, where he's cute enough and baby enough that the wives could, even if you don't have a nerdy wife, like they'll be interested in watching what happens to the little baby. Like it's bridges the gap. What are your thoughts on that? Or do you think the Mandalorian's doing it right across the board?
Well, yeah, it has a lot of things encompassed in it. It's Star Wars, but it's something new, but it's also not. I think as far as the fandom goes, Rogue One was accepted pretty much instantly by everybody.
Really?
Even I think so. Even after Episode 7, people, the haters were already, talking about how, it's just a ripoff of 4, it's the same movie, blah blah blah. But then Rogue One comes around, and everyone in the fandom was able to latch onto that movie because it had all the familiar stuff from the original trilogy that you wanted. Oh, there's Star Destroyers, there's the Death Star, Vader's here, Tarkin's here. It had everything that you wanted. So I think Mandalorian kind of hits that same hits that same line.
It sounds like you're talking from the point of view of a Star Wars fan already. Like,
Well,
I'm not sure Rogue One is like a starting point for any type of.
True,
like,
but I was going more off of, like you said, the Star Wars content that even haters can love. I was kind of starting with that point of view, and I think that's why.
Yeah, I mean, I would partially agree with that. I'm not sure Rogue One. I love Rogue One. It's probably top 3, maybe.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure I would even suggest that like that was loved by everybody. Obviously, a lot of people. Why Tarkin? He looks so bad. Like, what are you looking at?
Yeah, but everything else, everyone was, trust me, just huge boner for Star Destroyers.
Yeah. I mean,
just put 7 Star Destroyers on the screen. Everybody's gonna like it.
I agree with it. Let's use the Death Star and let's fuck an entire city up.
Yeah,
like it's awesome. There's some crazy good stuff in there.
Yeah.
I guess my only concern would be the actual characters. A lot of people didn't like Jyn Erso. They didn't like Cassian Andor. I don't care about him. Even I think I said that, right up front when across the first viewing. I was like, it's almost nice not having to care about the main characters. Like they're gonna die.
Right, they're means to an end, yo.
Which is nice. Which is very nice. And that's why it's like I need more death in Star Wars.
Great. As far as people outside of the fandom getting into it, I think it's a good entry point. You can sit down and watch it for 40 minutes, one episode at a time. It's a little easier than trying to figure out the chronology of Star Wars and jump into one of the movies and be like, okay, is this one the first one? And by first, do we mean 1 or like 77? Or which one does this come after? Who is this person? Is Rey in this one? It can be super confusing. So it's nice to jump in.
I guess on the surface level, you don't have to know the history to understand the Mandalorian.
Right. It just makes it better.
You just look at it. Who's the good guy? You can see, Din Djarin's not particularly a good guy, but, he's doing a job. And obviously...
But he is our protagonist.
Baby Yoda, we all know Baby Yoda's a good person, or at least an untainted person. And then it's easy to be like, oh, yeah, stormtroopers, bad guys. Look at how evil everybody is around the stormtroopers. Those are clearly the enemy.
Yeah.
You look at the movies. Who's good? Who's bad? Who's pulling the strings? Clones. Mm-hmm. What does good mean? It's always more of a tension of who, what, when, where, why. This one's just like, no, bad guys, good guys, baby. Get it fucking done.
Yep. Brandon also says it does hit the Western vibe. So,
absolutely. That's one of my
new feel for Star Wars. Fresh new feel.
That's one thing. I will never talk shit about the scores in Star Wars, but it is nice and refreshing in what they did with the Western feel in the Mandalorian. It didn't feel forced. A lot of the Star Wars films, they make it so grand, so epic, so much, and it is great. But like sometimes it's like it's nice to just take a step back,
right? And
let's do some like. It was just a really nice taste. If the Mandalorian didn't have the score that it had, I might feel very differently about it.
Yeah.
Well, of course that you could say that about anything, but the Western style feel of the score it gives you kind of an idea of where we stand in the Star Wars universe and what's happening. It's nice.
I agree 1,000%.
It's very nice. It's very nice.
I have nothing to add.
I love Star Wars scores, but it is nice to take a step back and get something different. So,
the music sets the mood more than almost anything else. I feel.
Absolutely. Who fuck the quotes and the characters and all that? Honestly.
Yeah.
You put a child on screen and you give me a little twinkle, and it's like, ah. No joke. That sounds really dumb. Put a stormtrooper on.
Twinkle.
Dun,
Twinkle.
dun. You're like, oh, okay, stormtrooper, bad.
Give me a little dinkle over here and twinkle over there.
Main character. Everybody just shut this off already. That's great. That's great. All right, let's move right along.
Hire us as composers for the new score.
Baby Yoda bridges gap. We've fucking finished that. Small little thing that I want to just even mention. The first cantina scene where Din Djarin's walking in and turning in the key fob or whatever the fob
Trying to get into his apartment.
after he picks up the sea whale blue guy. He's walking into the cantina. Point being, they were able to show the expanse of species in the cantina without making it obvious. And what I mean by that, in episode 4, they walk in, they sit down, and then it's literally just a camera going through and zooming in on different species. Okay, Wolfman, growl now. Okay, we need to see the centipede in the back. Wave your arms.
Yep. Satan, please say something.
It's just like not a part of the actual film. It's so like, hey, look at all this scenery stuff. Okay, now let's move on.
You know, you're describing some Star Wars fans' like favorite scene of all time.
It's so weird. It's so. Look, I like the characters. It's cool. It's very cool. But like the way they filmed it felt so separate from the actual characters and what was happening. It was just like they walk in, sit down, and then they span everything and zoom in on specific. And you're like, this isn't even from a character's point of view.
Right.
You're literally just having Wolfman growl into a camera. It's very weird, very disconnected. What I noticed in this first scene is they do it in a way where Din is walking in, and as they do it, they just show kind of characters and species reacting to Din walking in. So it does feel connected to, but you still get to see everything that's going on.
Right, but it's drawing their focus to the main character.
Yes. It was just the slightest little thing that I noticed. I was like, why does this feel so different and so smooth?
Yeah.
It's like because they incorporated the showing of all these species into what was happening right then and there.
Right.
Wolfman growling at a camera does not really do much for me. But
also, it's like one of the first lines in the show is "Achuta."
Mm-hmm.
Achuta Mando.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Achuta Mando.
Yep, you win. Anyone that played KOTOR is now all in on this show.
Yeah. That first scene's pretty cool. I really like their focus on the beasts and the animals in The Mandalorian. It makes it feel much more adventurous. Per se, because I feel like we get into the Clone Wars and the prequels, everything's already figured out. All the species have been seen. Like it feels more complete. Now we've gotten to the point where it's like the frontier. That we're pushing the expanse. We don't even know what demons are under this ice. We better get fucking going because the walrus, the Lapras, is going to come up and eat us. So
well, you're taking Mando, who's like smart and experienced and thinks well on his feet, but you're putting him in planets he's never gone to. So like he doesn't know everything about every planet that there is in the fucking galaxy.
We're gonna
unlike at the Jedi archives where they're like, oh, we have all the knowledge that ever has been,
which is ridiculous. Just because there's a library at the Jedi the temple doesn't mean like Obi-Wan's read every goddamn book. I do hate that part where everything they always come across, they're like, oh yeah, I know this. You're like, dude, what the fuck is that thing? Why would
that's interesting. They didn't know much about the Gungans when they met Jar Jar for the first time.
Why would you need to know anything about them? They were a hidden city. They never knew.
That's true.
Floppy ears, big lips. That's all you need to know. There's one that doesn't shut up.
Broken dialect. One was supposed to be a Sith Lord.
Part Jamaican in the audiobook. Yeah. No, I mean, it sounds so dumb. I'm gonna move on from this cantina scene, but it was something that like again, when you're rewatching it, you don't have to focus on the story. You can kind of pick it apart a little more. So it's nice.
Pick it apart.
Luke is credited. We already talked about that.
Yes, we did. He's credited on everything.
What are your expectations for this second season?
Just really quick, earlier, I know we had left a question unanswered, and I was going on Wikipedia to find it to figure out why those mercenaries had Baby Yoda in that encampment.
Oh, okay.
And it's not explained yet, so I'm assuming they'll either never touch it or we'll get some sort of backstory on it in the future.
So what you're saying is confirmed to be unconfirmed.
Maybe in maybe in a comic or something. So yeah, it just says
it's crazy
at one point they had in their possession the asset, which was the same species as former Jedi Grandmaster Yoda.
It's crazy to think that for 50 years this little embryo has been floating around.
And no one knew about it. Well,
honestly,
just a couple bounty hunters.
You talk about where we're at and we discussed how Baby Yoda's 50 years old. That puts him 10 years before Phantom Menace.
Oh, it's the child. His name is the child. Could you please call it the child, please? I'm confusing people.
So the child Yoda is
the child baby.
He's been floating around. He's been in some person's hands, floating through. That crib is indestructible and it's got a lot of food in it or something.
I was gonna say it doesn't have a feeding. Like, there's no way to feed him while he's in there.
He's got a surplus of crackers. I don't know.
Has his teeth formed? Can he have crackers?
But isn't that crazy? Like, while we're sitting here watching Anakin pod race, there is a 10-year-old Baby Yoda floating around somewhere.
Yeah.
Order 66, and then there's a little rattle. Oh, what the fuck was that? We got a Baby Yoda in the attic. He's playing with his little rattle. Don't worry about him for now. Just leave him be.
Playing whack-a-mole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, so again, thank you for clarifying that no one knows where.
Yeah, that we didn't. I know I led that up super terribly. It's like, oh,
so
I think we got
something out.
Oh, we got an answer for this thing. It's on Wikipedia. There's no answer.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here for you guys. What are your expectations? I know we've got a lot of potential character drops. Boba, Ahsoka, Bo-Katan. We've got all of them.
I think I'm going in strong with no expectations, really. Will I watch this season? Yes.
Well, let me ask some more specific things then, because
I can tell you why if you want. So I have here's my only expectation. People like Boba Fett, Sabine, Ahsoka, they're gonna be just enough for fan service, little cameo, move the plot along, and then they're out. That's my expectation. If Ahsoka is like Mando's partner for 7 episodes, I'm going to get a little irritated as much as I love Ahsoka.
Unless they do it well and it's great, which they will.
Yeah. I guess maybe that's why I'm trying not to have expectation about the show. Is like I expect they don't do any of these things unless they do them well, and then I will love all of them.
Well, no,
that's what we always come back to.
It's a good point. Like, I don't necessarily want Ahsoka for 7 episodes, but if you ask me what I want Ahsoka for 7 episodes.
I want Ahsoka for 9 episodes.
That's true. We asked. So unconfirmed, confirmed. 17 episodes, 9.
Yes. 17-9.
So I guess more specifically, will Din Djarin drop off Baby Yoda to the Jedi by the end of the season?
Well, that's what I'm very intrigued by. I don't know. And I don't know how many Jedi are left. And I don't know how many Jedi they're going to show. Because really, we got Luke and we got Ahsoka.
And Cal.
We don't know. Cal could have died at some point. You don't know. That's what I mean. I don't know how much they're going to wrap things in.
Well,
you know what? Oh, sorry.
You know what would be nice is if they did introduce another Jedi. That make one up, whatever, fill in the blank, but that they had been in some sort of contact with, God, what's her name?
Ahsoka Tano.
Yes, I know Ahsoka, but they call her
the child.
No, she's got a name.
Saz Ventress.
Oh my gosh, what's Ahsoka's nickname? You're killing me.
Snips.
No, Jesus, you're terrible at life.
That is her nickname. What are you talking about?
Ahsoka Tano.
Oh, from Rebels, like her code name?
Yep.
Fulcrum, thank
you. Yeah, so even at that point, they might even do a Fulcrum reference.
Yeah.
And that the name Ahsoka is gone. Because you don't want the name Ahsoka getting out, because Vader still wrote, well, at this point, no. But, historically, you don't want to have your real name.
Okay. Yeah. I guess so. Especially if you're,
So is he
from a race of super monks that's in hiding across the galaxy?
Will the child end up with the Jedi? Yes or no? Go.
Not yet.
I'm gonna say yes.
I'm gonna say maybe in season 3.
I'm gonna say yes. And I think that the Mandalorian is gonna play less of a Mandalorian role going forward. What I mean by this is he is going to drop off the child. He's going to get involved with the Jedi and or the New Republic. And not that he's going to leave the Mandalorians, but become more a part of the New Republic. Just kind of like Sabine did. Sabine, it was a Mandalorian, but, her allegiance was to the Republic, not to the Mandalorians,
democracy
per se. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think that is going to be a big plot point at some point. I just think they're not gonna take Baby Yoda out of the show already.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get to the point where it'll be a nice, like, he'll still be in it. Like in season 3, he's gonna be delivered, but they're gonna be doing shit with him. I don't know.
So now we're splitting time following Baby Yoda's story versus following Din Djarin. Baby Yoda can't even talk. How are we gonna follow? I
do think that. I do think the New Republic and/or /Jedi will have Baby Yoda, and Din Djarin and his gang of friends are going to be doing more stuff for the New Republic. Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
They could do anything.
They're doing missions.
They could really do whatever the fuck Gadden that they want. A lot of people want to see Gadden.
How many people and who will die as far as main characters?
Again, I don't know. I think we're going to have more than 2 seasons of this show. So I don't think all this major stuff is going to happen at the end of season 2. I think we're going to have...
Will Cara Dune live?
I think probably. I hope so. Can't kill a smoke show.
Will Carl Weathers live?
No, he's old.
I think Carl Weathers would be a great... I always forget his name.
Greef Karga.
Greef. I think Greef would be a great sacrifice for the second season.
Yeah, I agree. What was I saying?
I agree.
I would say over the course of season 2, they're going to establish what state the Jedi are actually in right now. So that way,
disarray.
Yes, disarray, but there's a little bit of an array over here and over here and over here. So like we're going to get introduced to Ahsoka, and then we're going to have that stage set, and then in season 3, he can actually hand off Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Because you can't take, the second little main character out of the show right at the end of the second season. It's too quick.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You heard?
My mind went full pun when we said disarray. I thought of like Jar Jar introducing Rey to somebody. Disarray. Mr. Jar Jar and disarray. Very, very.
Oh my God! We have to shut this whole thing down.
It's official.
Oh,
We're
wow.
globalists. We're globalist officials.
Jesus.
Okay, no, I'm excited. Any other thoughts about season 2 specifically? Disarray.
I can't.
It was a nice callback. I will throw some other stuff in here, like the carbonite callback. There was some stuff sprinkled in there that if you're a huge Star Wars fan, you're like, yes.
Bill Burr.
Yes. Yep. Bill Burr's character. I didn't realize he was an ex-Imperial.
Yeah.
Trooper.
I wasn't a stormtrooper, wise ass.
I've only watched that episode once. I don't plan on watching it again.
What? That's a lot of people's favorite episode.
Boston over here.
They're all supposed to come back.
Really?
Yeah, because remember, Mando locks him up and then leaves. So
Yeah,
I think
I
they're going to try to get some revenge on that son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, they find out he's got the child. Yep. So season 3 set to start production by the end of this year. Or still at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're probably hoping to get back on track for next year then.
Yeah. Perhaps.
I mean, I guess the Mando lucked out and launched is about the same time. Because it was like end of October, like right before the holiday season started. Last year.
Last year, wasn't it November? Yeah.
If it was like the first week of November.
I don't remember. So season 3's right, getting ready, gearing up already.
Good.
So in light
me.
of all this series talk, I was doing some Cassian Andor research because we haven't really heard anything. I haven't even heard like them delaying production. I haven't heard storyline. I hadn't heard anything. So I
think they just started. They just started filming, right?
No, they started filming in March or April. I thought, and then it was delayed.
To now.
But it did kind of interest me because so the Cassian Andor series is supposed to take place, they said, 5 years before Rogue One.
Cool.
So I did some quick knowledge.
Probably going to get some fulcrum action in that show, too.
Cassian Andor was 26 during Rogue One at the time of his death.
Okay.
So we're suggesting we're going to put a 21-year-old Cassian Andor out there. and it lines
How
up
they
with
gotta
about.
make him look younger though? He's an older actor. How they gotta make him look younger?
It lines up with about the beginning of Rebels.
There you go.
So 21-year-old murderer, Rebels. Let's make it fun.
So we're gonna get live action versions of everybody from Rebels.
I don't know. It does. I mean,
Saw Gerrera.
the
return?
Rebel characters seem very disconnected from what's actually going on.
Oh, they get tied in.
Yeah,
They meet
later.
Saw Gerrera. They get tied in with Fulcrum and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, later. But I mean, this is at the very beginning. Like, they're suggesting months before they even meet up with, what's his face.
Sure.
So, yeah,
That'd be cool.
I thought that was interesting because it'd be nice to go back and see what casting's actually been through. Obviously, that's what we're hoping on.
Oh, he's just capping people left and right.
It's just
Give me that information. Bam. Give me that information. Bam. Slapping people.
slapping them. Nice.
I started killing people when I was 6 years old.
Murderer, you liar.
Oh, man. Can you imagine regular ass rebels? Well, I guess you don't have to imagine it. We saw it in Rogue One. But regular ass rebel soldiers going up against Darth Vader. Or just seeing him.
Yeah,
No
That
one got
was
out of that
something-
hallway alive, though.
that was something that it was nice to see at the end of Fallen Order. That was nice to see at the end of Rogue One. Even at the status of Jedi with Cal, like how crazy it is to come across something like a Darth Vader. And even Sierra at the end, she says it's him. Like all this myth about this devil dude coming around fucking everything up. He walks up, kills the Inquisitor, and she's like, it's him.
Yep.
Cal says, quote, like, well, that doesn't look good. And she says, it's not. It's him. We're fucked.
Run.
End quote.
Yeah, picture the level that is on people's minds in the galaxy. Like this myth just materialized and murdered someone in front of my face.
Yeah. It's almost like he walks around with the Men in Black Mind Stunner. He was here, I think. I remember something. Blom. Was he here, though? I don't know.
You think he leaves anyone left alive to even flash?
That would be something Vader would do. Like, kill everybody but one person. Tell your friends about me. But not in much detail. Okay. I got you.
Yeah. No pictures.
I'm picking up what you're putting down there.
Go off your memory only. No photos, please.
Darth
Contact my publicist.
Vader.
PR@empire.gov.
Hashtag henceforth.
So yeah, still murky about Cassian Andor series then. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on track. I would assume it's behind. I don't know what they were planning on. Let's just Google it.
I think it's super behind, yeah. I'm pretty sure I saw like they started filming recently. So that probably means they restarted filming because of COVID, but it's just getting rolling.
No scheduled release date, but this was posted April, at the end of April, almost May this year. But even at that point, I'm sure nothing else has really happened. There's no scheduled release date, which is, I'm going to be honest, from the eyes of Disney, it's pretty crazy because they've got a lot of stuff scheduled out over the next 10 years.
Well, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't have hard release dates yet, like Kenobi
Obi-Wan,
and the Bad Batch show. Yeah,
what's your thought on the Bad Batch show?
I'm not gonna watch it probably.
See, isn't that? I don't know. I mean, I'm not.
It'll be all right. It could be interesting. I don't care about the Bad Batch really, but if it's going to be documenting like how clones that survived are adjusting to like the Empire and all that, that'll be interesting. Like because we don't know much about the new canon version of what happens from the clones in between episode 3 and 4. I'm assuming a lot of them go on to be stormtroopers, but a lot of them probably don't. So it'll be interesting from that perspective. I guess they just figure all the options that you have to make new material and new shows and new animations, and I don't know why you're going with the Bad Batch.
Again, Solo was fun, but you could put those efforts into Old Republic shit.
No, you could put those efforts into Solo 2.
I don't know.
And then Solo 3.
Double the budget.
Solo, duo, and trio. Double the budget, but now they know what the fuck they're doing. So just bring Ronnie back. Bring Ron Howard back and let him fucking go to town.
Yeah.
It was great, man.
Yep. More of a loss of potential than, they're not really making. I would be interested, like, what actually happened with Solo? What were they going to release? Why was it so bad?
Yeah.
You know?
They'll let people know in like 5 years.
Yeah, of course.
There'll be some special edition of it. And they'll have like behind the scenes with the original directors. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on them actually bringing in known actors? You know, and not huge actors, but like Bill Burr was a part of it, obviously. But like even the I forget his last name, Brian Powen, was the speeder pilot on the very first on the ice in the very first episode. Like
yeah.
He was in the Devil's
guy.
Rejects. He's
Yeah.
You know, I mean, noticeable people. What are your? I mean,
Oh,
they've
it's
done
good.
Star
Just
Wars
quick
is
little
always
cameos.
Star Wars is always outside of like Samuel L. Jackson.
And Adam Driver.
Yeah, but was Adam Driver?
Yeah.
I had never seen him in anything, so
Yeah.
so that doesn't hold up.
I know what you mean though, but all the known actors are not main characters, except for I guess Pedro Pascal. But then he put a helmet on, so.
I was asking your opinion. I wasn't asking you to defend it. I was just wondering.
I'm up in arms about this. This will not stand. This aggression, man, will not stand.
I think it's interesting because they've always
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
they've always strayed away from it for the most part. Let's bring in other people. You know, I do think bringing in characters that have, or bringing in actors that have done other things. You know, you have these preconceptions of other characters.
It's up to the actor to make the character their own, so we forget about that.
Yeah, it's true.
They'll settle into the role or they won't.
Yeah, I wonder how much that actually plays. I mean, if you're just making any type of story, and even if the character does well, like it's hard to take Harrison Ford out of Star Wars for me. Like everything he does, I think Han Solo. I feel bad. I don't care if it's Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is Han Solo. He's just on Earth. I don't.
You're talking about when you see Harrison Ford in other movies.
Yes.
So it has the opposite effect.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So when I see Harrison Ford in other movies, he's Han Solo. But like, you know, fill in the blank for whenever I see, I don't know. There's just the preconceptions. Like I've seen this guy before, so there is some baggage that comes with him. Regardless, he's played another character. He's done this. He's a part of this.
Yeah.
I think it's impossible to completely shut your brain off of. Oh yeah, this is brand new again.
Fucking brand new again. It can be. Again, I just think that's like up to the show setting the stage and the actors settling into the role. If you can tune out of all that stuff and just enjoy the series, which for Mando I was. I mean, I wasn't. I guess Carl Weathers had a few janky lines or janky deliveries, but I'm also. I mean, I know Carl Weathers. I wasn't quoting Arrested Development lines when I was watching it, though. Maybe after the fact.
Carl Weathers is in
Arrested Development, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's funny. It's he's a washed up actor.
Wow,
obviously.
I would never have thought that he would be in Arrested Development.
It's really funny. But see, Mando got me settled into the zone. I wasn't really thinking about that. And then, of course, after the fact, the memes pop up. But
Cool. Well, that's all I got for Mando and all of it.
I'm ready, man.
Excited to jump into that. We'll see what happens with the first episode.
Yes, sir. Just like 36 hours away, man.
Yeah, we're right around the corner. Chubbs in space.
Chubbs in space, exactly. Are you watching it like first thing in the morning, or are you going to do something like in the evening time?
Whatever day it comes out, yeah.
Friday. I just didn't know if you were like rabid for it. You're going to see it like first thing.
Like, am I going to stay up Thursday night? No.
Yeah.
No. I'm asleep.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
It'll be there the next day there. Yeah, there's no reason. It's not going to be crazy. The only thing is, like, if you come across a spoiler,
exactly.
That's worst case scenario. But
yes,
worst case
leave your phone off until you see it. Worst case Ontario.
So cool. Good day, Galaxy. If you want to find out the other 2 steps of being 100% douchebag, give us an email. Send us grams. Send us candy grams.
Golden grams, candy grams, pepper grams.
Just like the good old grams.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Seriously, do send us an email. I know there's a lot of lurkers out there. You've been listening.
Most of you are lurkers.
Most of you are lurkers. Majority. You've been lurking. You've been listening. You haven't said anything. Now's your time. Chug 6 beers and email us.
Yut. Where you at? Even though I already know who you are. You need to send something out.
Calling lurkers out by name.
Yut and Jam. Yeah, I know you.
Stop lurking. Damn you.
Good day, Galaxy. Appreciate you guys. We'll touch base with you after the first episode here, and
woo!
We'll do it. We'll dip it. And we'll have it.
Woo! We'll do it. We'll dip it, and we'll have it. Bye, everybody.
Good happenings.